You're doing everything right. You're visualizing abundance. You're affirming your worth. You're taking action. And then, right when things start to work, you sabotage it. You turn down the opportunity. You underprice yourself. You create a crisis that drains your bank account. And you have no idea why you keep doing this. Welcome to Inner Growth Press. I'm Clara, and the purpose of this channel is to bring the teachings from our books deeper, to help you heal your life and manifest with ease. If you're someone who gets close to financial breakthroughs but always seems to hit an invisible ceiling, this video is going to show you the 3 unconscious blocks that are running the show. Hit that subscribe button and thumbs up if this resonates. Here's the thing. Most people think money blocks are about limiting beliefs. I don't believe I can make 6 figures. Money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are lucky. And sure, those are blocks, but they're surface level. They're the symptoms, not the disease. The real blocks? They're deeper. They're wired into your nervous system. They're embedded in your identity. And they're protected by your subconscious because at some point in your life, these blocks kept you safe. That's the part nobody talks about. Your money blocks aren't random. They're not character flaws. They're survival mechanisms that you developed when you were young, and they worked so well that your brain never updated the programming. So let me break down the 3 money blocks that stop manifestation dead in its tracks. And more importantly, how to tell which one is yours. Block number 1, the worthiness block. This is the I don't deserve this much money block. And here's what makes it so insidious. You probably don't consciously think you're unworthy. You're doing affirmations. You're working on yourself. You know, intellectually, that you deserve abundance. But your subconscious, it has a different story. The worthiness block shows up like this. You manifest money, and then immediately something happens that takes it away. Your car breaks down, a medical bill appears, you make a bad investment, or you just spend it on things you don't really need. Almost like you're trying to get back to a financial baseline that feels familiar. Or maybe it shows up like this. You're about to charge what you're worth, and suddenly you hear yourself offering a discount. You're about to ask for the raise, and you talk yourself out of it. You get the client who can pay your full rate, and you underprice yourself anyway. Here's what's actually happening. Your subconscious has a set point for how much money you're allowed to have. It's not a conscious decision. It's based on what you saw growing up, what you were told about money, and what you decided about yourself when you were too young to know better. Let me give you an example. If you grew up watching your parents struggle and the only time they paid attention to you was when there was a crisis, your subconscious learned something. Struggle equals love. Struggle equals safety. Struggle equals being seen. So now, as an adult, when money starts flowing and life gets easy, your subconscious panics. Because easy doesn't feel safe, easy feels wrong, so it creates a problem to bring you back to familiar territory. The worthiness block often comes with phrases like, "Who am I to have this?" "Other people deserve it more." "I haven't worked hard enough." "This is too good to be true." And the really tricky part? You'll justify the self-sabotage. You'll tell yourself the car breaking down was just bad luck. The discount you offered was just being nice. The opportunity you turned down just wasn't the right fit. But if this keeps happening, it's not bad luck. It's a pattern. And the pattern is your subconscious protecting you from having more than you believe you deserve. Now you might be thinking, okay, so how do I fix this? Here's the thing, you can't fix worthiness with affirmations, because worthiness isn't logical. It's emotional. It's stored in your body, in your nervous system, in the moments when you were 5 years old and somebody told you that you were too much or not enough, or that good things don't happen to people like you. The way you heal the worthiness block is by catching it in real time. When you're about to charge full price and you feel the urge to discount, pause. Feel where that urge lives in your body. Notice the story that comes with it. They can't afford it. I'm not worth that much. I don't want to seem greedy. And then ask yourself, is this true? Or is this my worthiness block trying to keep me small? You don't have to believe you're worthy yet. You just have to stop obeying the block. Block number 2, the safety block. This is the money isn't safe for people like me block, and this one is sneaky because it sounds responsible. It sounds like wisdom. It sounds like you're just being realistic. The safety block shows up like this. You keep yourself just comfortable enough. You make enough to get by, maybe even save a little, but you never really break through. Because breaking through would mean being visible. And visible feels dangerous. Or maybe it shows up like this. You have a fear of success that's stronger than your fear of failure. You say you want financial freedom, but when opportunities come that would actually give you that freedom, you find reasons to say no. Too risky, too much responsibility, too much change. Here's what's actually happening. At some point, you learned that having money makes you a target. Maybe you saw someone in your family get taken advantage of because they had money. Maybe you saw people change when they got wealth, and not in a good way. Maybe you witnessed jealousy, resentment, or betrayal tied to financial success. So your subconscious made a decision. It's safer to stay small. It's safer to blend in. It's safer to fly under the radar. This is especially common if you grew up in a family or community where standing out was punished, where being too big for your britches was the ultimate insult, where success meant losing connection to the people you loved. The safety block comes with phrases like, I don't want people to treat me differently. Money changes people. I'd rather be happy than rich. What if I lose it all? And here's the really painful part. The safety block will make you choose struggle over success because struggle feels safer. You know how to be broke. You know how to hustle. You know how to survive. But thriving? That's unknown territory. And your nervous system hates the unknown. Let me give you a concrete example. You get offered a huge opportunity, a promotion, a big client, a book deal, whatever. And instead of feeling excited, you feel terrified. Your brain immediately goes to worst-case scenarios. What if I fail publicly? What if people expect too much? What if I can't handle it? That's not imposter syndrome. That's your safety block doing its job, keeping you in familiar territory where the threats are predictable. The way you work with the safety block is by building evidence that visibility is safe. Start small. Share your wins publicly, even when it feels uncomfortable. Charge more, even when it feels scary. Take up space, even when your nervous system screams at you to shrink. Your subconscious needs new data. It needs to see that you can be visible and still be loved. You can be successful and still be safe. You can have money and still be you. Block number 3, the identity block. This is the rich people are greedy, selfish, or fake block, and this is the one that most people don't even realize they have. The identity block shows up like this. You say you want wealth, but you have a lot of judgments about wealthy people. You criticize how they spend their money. You question their values. You tell yourself you'd never be like that. Or maybe it shows up like this. You have a strong identity around being the struggling artist, or the person who doesn't care about money, or the one who's above materialism. And that identity feels good. It feels noble. It makes you special. But here's the problem. You cannot become what you secretly resent. If you believe that rich people are shallow, you will subconsciously avoid wealth to protect your depth. If you believe that rich people are selfish, You will sabotage money to prove you're generous. If you believe that rich people are fake, you will stay broke to stay authentic. Your subconscious will always choose identity over abundance, because identity is survival. Identity is belonging. Identity is knowing who you are in the world. The identity block often comes from family messages. We're not the kind of people who have money. Money is the root of all evil. Rich people don't go to heaven. We take care of people, we don't hoard wealth. And look, some of those messages come from good intentions. They come from people trying to teach you values, trying to keep you humble, trying to make sure you don't become someone they wouldn't recognize. But the cost is enormous, because now you're walking around with an unconscious belief that you have to choose. Be a good person or have money. Be authentic or be wealthy. Be loved or be successful. And that's a false choice, but your subconscious doesn't know that. Let me tell you what this looks like in real life. You're doing well financially, and suddenly you feel guilty. So you give money away, not from generosity, but from guilt. Or you downplay your success. Or you go out of your way to prove you're still humble, still relatable, still one of the good ones. That's the identity block. It's the voice that says, don't forget where you came from. Don't get too big for your britches. Stay humble. And humility is beautiful. But false humility, shrinking yourself to make others comfortable, is just another form of self-sabotage. The way you heal the identity block is by creating a new story about what wealth means. You have to find examples of wealthy people who are kind, generous, authentic, and aligned. You have to rewrite the narrative that money corrupts. Because here's the truth. Money amplifies. If you're generous with $10, you'll be generous with 10,000. If you're selfish with $100, you'll be selfish with 100,000. Money doesn't change who you are. It reveals who you are. And if you're someone who cares about healing, about growth, about making a difference, imagine what you could do with financial freedom. Imagine the people you could help. Imagine the time you'd have to create, to rest, to be present with the people you love. That's not greedy. That's responsible. That's actually the most generous thing you can do. Heal your money block so you can show up fully resourced. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Most people have all three blocks, just in different proportions. You might have a strong worthiness block around charging your worth, a moderate safety block around being visible, and a mild identity block around what wealth means. Or maybe your identity block is massive because you grew up in a family that demonized money, but your worthiness block is small because you were praised for your talents. The point is, you have to know which block is running the show, because you can't heal what you can't see. So let me give you the diagnostic questions. For the worthiness block, ask yourself, do I self-sabotage right when things are going well? Do I have a financial set point I can't seem to break through? Do I feel guilty when I receive money easily? For the safety block, ask yourself, am I more afraid of success than failure? Do I avoid opportunities that would make me more visible? Do I have a story that money makes people targets? For the identity block, ask yourself, do I judge wealthy people? Do I have a strong identity around being not materialistic? Do I feel like I'd have to change who I am to have more money? Be honest, no judgment, just data. Because here's the thing, these blocks are not your fault. You didn't choose them. You inherited them, absorbed them, developed them as a way to survive. And they worked. They kept you safe when you were young and powerless. But now, they're keeping you stuck. And you're not powerless anymore. You can choose differently. So what do you actually do with this? Step 1. Identify your primary block. Go through those diagnostic questions. Journal on them. Notice which one brings up the most resistance, the most emotion, the most defensiveness. That's your primary block. You don't have to fix all three at once. Start with the one that's loudest. Step 2. Track the pattern in real time. For the next week, every time you make a financial decision, spending, earning, investing, saving, pause and ask, which block is influencing this decision? Am I undercharging because of worthiness? Am I avoiding the opportunity because of safety? Am I judging this purchase because of identity? Just notice. You don't have to change anything yet. Awareness is the first step. Step 3. Create new evidence. Your blocks exist because your subconscious has mountains of evidence that they're true. You need to build counter-evidence. If you have a worthiness block, practice receiving without immediately giving back. Let someone buy you coffee and just say thank you. Charge full price and don't apologize. If you have a safety block, take one visible action this week. Post about your work, share a win, let people see you succeeding. If you have an identity block, find 3 examples of wealthy people you respect. Study them. Let your subconscious see that wealth and goodness can coexist. Step 4. Reframe the belief. Your blocks are built on old beliefs. You need new ones. Worthiness block. New belief. I am worthy of abundance simply because I exist. My worth isn't earned, it's inherent. Safety block. New belief. I can be visible, successful, and safe. The right people will celebrate my success, not punish it. Identity block. New belief. Money is a tool. I get to decide what it means, and I choose to use it for good. Write these down. Say them out loud. Let them feel awkward. Your subconscious needs repetition. Step 5. Get support. You cannot heal money blocks in isolation, because these blocks were formed in relationship with your parents, your family, your community, and they need to be healed in relationship too. Find people who are doing the inner work around money. Join communities where wealth and growth are normalized. Work with a therapist, a coach, someone who can hold space for the deeper layers. Even AI can help you if you let it. Use it as a mirror. Ask it to help you unpack your beliefs. Let it challenge your stories. Sometimes the act of articulating your blocks to something that won't judge you is exactly what breaks them open. And if you want to go deeper on the psychology of money and how your relationship with wealth is tied to your emotional patterns, check out The Money Frequency Shift on Amazon, link in the description. It breaks down the intersection of manifestation and money mindset, with the full framework on how to shift your financial frequency from the inside out. Look, here's the bottom line. Your money blocks aren't stopping you because you're broken. They're stopping you because they're trying to protect you. But you don't need that protection anymore. You're not that 5-year-old who learned that having more means losing love. You're not that teenager who learned that being visible means being a target. You're not that young adult who learned that wealth and goodness can't coexist. You're here now, and you get to choose. The difference between people who break through their money blocks and people who stay stuck isn't willpower. It's awareness. It's catching the pattern. It's choosing differently, one micro-decision at a time. And the good news is, once you see the blocks, they lose their power. Not immediately, not magically, but steadily. Because you can't unsee what you've seen. And if you want to explore the manifestation side more, we have a whole manifestation series on Amazon, books that walk you through how to actually shift your energy and call in what you want. Links are in the description. Make sure you're subscribed because next week we're breaking down the exact scripting method that rewires your subconscious for wealth. without the toxic positivity. Drop a comment and tell me which block resonated most: worthiness, safety, or identity. Let's heal the blocks. Let's shift the frequency. Let's manifest with ease. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.